àwọn nǹkan tí mo ṣe àwọn nǹkan tí mo ṣe wá. Fẹ́ verify bí o máa stream live on YouTube. I need YouTube account now. No notification. I need YouTube account. Nah. Let me show you set up P5 to yeah.
Si je peux la petit. Hello, web now. Web
YouTube delay.
Webcam.
Webcam máa ṣiṣẹ́. A máa rí bandwidth tó dáa pẹ̀lú system yìí. A máa rí bandwidth tó dáa pẹ̀lú ẹ̀kọ́ i3 ní ó ní space. Ìṣàgbéǹga kò dábẹ́ ṣe ń fi àjẹ́ wáyé. Ọ̀gá àgbàlẹ̀ máa kó lọ́fíìsì. Ó depend. Yeah, then the account into online, but the account into our 5. Well, the phone. Major system. So bá fẹ́ post YouTube kìíní fáwọn èèyàn kò tí máa copy lọ́la máa kọ́ copy lé máa kọ́ ṣe gbogbo kìíní máa dé send sí ìta so àwọn èèyàn tó bá link ní Zoom ọ máa rí o.
Ẹ tó bá lọ Zoom direct.
Tó bá Zoom olójú yẹn tó lè wọ Zoom.
Tó bá lọ sí YouTube direct.
Kò lè rí wo tó bá ti send link sí àjọ máa lọ search kìíní.
Tó bá lọ sí YouTube straight. Tó bá tẹ SBS 2021 national conference ó yẹ kó àgbè wá báyìí.
Ó ní delay ó ní seconds some seconds. We will do this láàárọ̀ làgà àṣẹlẹ láàárọ̀ là ẹ kí lọ wo èèyàn tó tẹ̀ ti register fún meeting ẹ̀ lọ. Gbogbo àwọn DR àwọn rector wọn ti register. Ilé ó ga ju ìtàlù láṣà lọ.
Sáìsì ṣògbé náà lọ kí sí ẹnu. Ayọ̀
ṣú ẹ̀.
Ṣé yẹn kúrò. Ṣé ṣe wà ń bẹ̀ lára. Bá sẹ́yìn ọ̀rọ̀ kò délẹ̀.
Kò délẹ̀ o.
Ìṣọ́.
Mi kò délẹ̀. 12 rè. By 8 ní ti láṣẹ àkùdé mẹ́rin. By 10 nílé. Tó bá ti kọ̀ sanwó ẹ̀.
Lóyún lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ní
Rárá, ìdúró fún ọgán ṣẹ́ sọ pé.
sí Nàìjíríà national airport.
Nigeria Postal Service. There you go. Hello, good afternoon. My name is Zain Abidin. I'll be moderating this SBS 2021 pre-conference briefing. I have 8 participants online, and I can recognize Dr. Mrs. Victoria Adele Said. That's the chairperson of the conference that will hold tomorrow. Let me advise those of us that are using our phones that we can Good afternoon. Sorry for the break in transmission. It was due to circumstances beyond our control, the Nigerian factor, I guess. I think I'm back online now. Like I have said, my name is Zain Abidin. I'll be the moderator for this pre-conference briefing. This is School of Business Studies, Federal Polytechnic Ede, 19th Annual National Conference, which will be holding virtually. Our conference promises to be completely virtual. All our resource persons will be joining us online. I have Dr. Mrs. Said from Lagos State Polytechnic. She is the chairperson of the conference. The chairperson is here, Dr. Mrs. Victoria Adinle Said, sorry. The chairperson is here, Mrs. C.O. Oyelekon. I can recognize other participants, Mr. Olatipe Stephen, Dr. and Dr. Mrs. Said, Mr. Abiodun Rotimi, Mr. Madu, who has been the man behind the technical expertise and has been relating with the participants over the period of time, is equally here to handle all your questions, and your inquiries will be dealt with by him. Let me welcome you all formally to this pre-conference briefing. My name is Zain Abidin once again. I would like to, at this point, introduce this pre-conference briefing to Mr. Madu. It's not going to be a briefing that will take our time. We just want to prepare our participants on what to expect tomorrow and how our schedule will go. So I will, at this point, ask Mr. Madu to please give us updates on what he has done so far when it comes to participants. Then we will take it up from there. Whatever questions anybody has, you can actually note it down as Mr. Madu will provide answers to them, please. Mr. Madu, you are on, please.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Abidin. I want to once again welcome each and every one of us to the conference briefing. My name is Mr. Madu Wisdom. Some of the technicalities that, let me start first and foremost by, I do know very well that there are 1,001,000 conferences going on around the world. But your choice to participate in our own conference is well appreciated, and we thank you very, very much for your interest in this conference. Having said that, this is not the usual physical conference that we are all aware of, or perhaps familiar with. And so it requires some technicalities for us to just know what that is expected of us to do. By this time, that is the eve of the conference, it is expected that every intending participant who have registered for this conference should have sent in his or her full papers in addition to the abstracts earlier sent. So if there is anyone who intends to participate in the conference and is here to send his or her paper, such individual is admonished to do that before the date of his or her presentation. In the course of the presentation, I should mention that there would be need for us to prepare our PowerPoints, okay? So that as the presentation is going on, you can share your screen with your virtual audience and then talk to your paper accordingly without wasting of much time. It should interest us to know that time have been allocated to each presentation, and we are going to be having just 7 minutes for each presenter. 7 minutes will be given to each presenter to present whatsoever he or she has found out that he wants to share with the academic world. And after the presentation, there would be time for interactions, question and answer, so that the chairman or chairperson of the technical section may have some whatever clarification that is required of such a person, he or she should be able to make those clarifications. Should also inform us that this conference is academic in all of its entirety. And as a result of that, we have taken time to ensure that all papers submitted, your subject is banking. You expect to have someone who is a professional in that area to moderate that particular, to chair that particular technical section. So it's going to be professional in his in all of its entirety, and we are happy about that. Another information that is very, very necessary at this point is to inform us also that there's going to be a book of abstracts, all right, for the conference. It's going to be an e-copy of the book of abstracts, just like the physical one we used to have. We are going to package it, and then it will be made available on our platform, the conference platform that most of us belong to. So it's going to be made available there. We know that there are some institutions where the book of abstract is a prerequisite for accepting the paper presented. So such individuals will have that opportunity of downloading the paper, the book of abstract, and then printing that also from their own end. After the conference, there is going to be a certificate of participation and presentation that will be issued to participants who have presented their papers. And those the certificate will be sent to each individual via the emails provided. And that is why we requested for that. So if your paper is not having your email address, it is very, very important that at the end of this conference, you make that email so that you can include it. It's very, very necessary for us to reach out, because it is through that means that we are going to get our certificates. I should mention, ladies and gentlemen, that it's very important, because we understand the situation, the network to have a very good conference, especially when it is your turn to present. Please do ensure that you have enough data subscription in your mobile device, so that your device does not go off as a result of insufficient data in the course of your presentation. So it is very, very necessary that that is done. Just make out time to get sufficient data for your use. Another thing is that we also know the network issue too. So we should, as much as possible, try to locate ourselves in a good area, an area that has good network. If the network in your home is not strong enough, you can use the one in your office, or just make sure that you take deliberate action to locate yourself in a place where you have a good network for good interaction. These are some of the things I feel I should make us to understand. I should also, before I end my brief, I should also say that the schedule for presentation has been made available at the conference platform. So each individual knows the date and section that he or she will be presenting. In the first day, that is tomorrow, after the opening section in the morning, there is going to be a technical section. So we are going to be having just one technical session tomorrow, and that will be starting by around 1 p.m. tomorrow. So we are going to be having just one technical section. Now, after that, on Wednesday, that is the second day, there's going to be 2 technical sections. The first one will be commencing by 9 a.m., whereas the second section will be commencing by 1 p.m. So the schedule is already on the platform for each individual to know when he or she has his or her own presentation to make. Then let me leave us the opportunity to ask for ask questions and for clarification, so that if there is anything that we need to attend to, we get to know them on time and begin to work on them. So whoever that has a question that is begging for clarifications, a suggestion, whatsoever, such an individual should make it, should use this opportunity to indicate, so we can attend to such issues. Once again, thank you very, very much for your interest in our conference, and thank you also for taking time to participate this evening and for listening to me. God bless you. Mr. Liu, please, you can. Okay. It is time for question, answer, whatever, clarifications, anything, please. Whoever that is interested should indicate, so that such an individual will be given time to comment. Thank you.
Madam Ngozi Muogo, I guess I can see your hands raised. You can unmute yourself now. You can unmute yourself and ask your questions, please.
Okay. Okay. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, ma'am.
Are you hearing me?
Clearly.
Please, so can you just maybe enlighten more about what you mean by PowerPoint presentation? Is it how I do it, or do I present how do I present the PowerPoint, please?
No, it is when you have your slides ready on the system or on the phone that you want to use, you can share your screen. When it is your time to present, I will ask you whether you have a PowerPoint, to present to us, but it is not compulsory. If you have a PowerPoint to present to us, they will tell you to share your screen, then you share us your slides. Then at that point, you stop seeing your face and you'll be talking to your slides and we'll be looking at you. That's what we mean by the PowerPoint presentation that we're talking about.
Okay.
But it is not compulsory anyway. It is not compulsory.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Do we have any more questions from you, madam?
I don't have question, but it's like a technical problem because I'm staying in Oko. I will normally have serious network problem in Oko because since 5 o'clock I was looking for network to join this thing before I joined.
Then I think where you are now is very stable because your bandwidth is very strong. Possibly you can do us a favor by going to this exact spot tomorrow. Tomorrow morning by 9 o'clock. The conference, the opening ceremony of the conference will start by 10 a.m. tomorrow, but we'll be live from 9 o'clock so that anybody that has to join us will have secured a good place for network so that the person will actually enjoy us better. This place you are standing now, your bandwidth is strong. You can actually.
I went to my neighbor's sitting room. I went to my neighbor's sitting room. I begged him tomorrow to use it.
No problem. You can as well ask your neighbor to prepare food and open salad so that you.
I don't think I join very early in the morning because I have to go to school in the morning and come back around 10, 11.
There's no problem. Anytime you come, you join, we'll still attend to people.
Okay.
But you must be available for the opening ceremony.
No, I must be available because I must present tomorrow. My name is among people that will present tomorrow.
Thank you, ma. God bless you, ma. Would that be all for now, ma?
Yeah. Thank you.
Dr. Mrs. Victoria Adele Said, I think that's the chairperson of the conference. You can unmute yourself now, ma, to actually, you have been asked to unmute yourself. You can go ahead, ma.
Okay, please. Can we have the timetable for tomorrow?
Madam, there are two devices in your location interfering with each other. The frequencies are jamming. You can help us to.
Okay.
Okay, we can hear you clearly now. There's no echo anymore.
I want to know the timetable for tomorrow.
The program of events will be released tonight or by tomorrow morning, very early. The program comes with our book of abstract. So the e-copy of the book of abstract together with the program will be released tonight or very early tomorrow morning.
Okay.
So the program of activities are on the book of abstract.
Okay.
Would that be all, ma?
I think so, yes.
Thank you very much, ma. God bless you. Sorry, please, we are still taking questions and answers. Madam Ngozi, you are raising hands again. I don't know whether you have something else to say. Do we have anyone else that has questions to please raise hands, please? Before we invite the chairperson of Research and Publications Committee to give us some things to expect for tomorrow. Mr. Abiodun wrote to me, you can unmute yourself and ask a question, please. Mr. Abiodun wrote to me, you can unmute yourself.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening. You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm calling from Lagos, Nigeria.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Yeah, when the whole process started, I was unable to hear the first person that came to present to give us briefing. So most of what he said at the early stage, I can already capture any of it. So I don't know if you can just
I was
give
the
me a
person
brief, sir.
that spoke earlier when giving the opening remark. I am actually a moderator.
Hello?
But all what was said by Dr. Madu is substantive and is still holding.
Okay. So I just, tomorrow I'll be presenting, so I don't know the process first.
Okay, the process for tomorrow presentation is there. You have been scheduled. We will take them in order of serially as it is being presented on the schedule. Then the opening ceremony will commence by 10 o'clock, and we expect it to not last for more than 2 hours because everything is going to be virtual. We're going to be brief with it. But then the technical session will start by 1 o'clock. The technical session will start by 1 o'clock. Then each presenter will have 7 minutes. If you have a PowerPoint slide you share with us, then we'll take your slide while you talk to your paper for that 7 minutes. Then we'll give room for question and answer for the next. The chairman technical session will actually review what you have said, and participants too will have their say on your presentation for the next 8 minutes, whereby we'll take another person to present. But the earlier part of this briefing was the introduction that I made. It was from my own end. Then I had a network glitch, which I had to settle before I came back online. So it was just a mere introduction that I did. Mr. Abiodun, are you there? Mr. Abiodun?
Hello?
I'm hearing you loud and clear now.
Thank you, thank you. I've gotten it now, it's fine by me.
Okay, thank you very much. Would that be all for now?
Yeah, that's all, sir.
Thank you. Do we have someone else to please raise hands? If you have someone else that has questions, the person should please raise hands. I said something at the initial stage when I came on board. I said all our devices, those of us that will be using phones, I can see one Technopova here. Please, you can help us to rename the device to be your name so that we can identify you by names instead of using Technopova. We cannot know who Technopova is, and the same thing goes to Galaxy A10. Please, you can help us to rename the devices on Zoom to read your name so that we can identify you by names, please. That's against tomorrow and your subsequent link up with us. Can help us to actually do that so that at the end of the day, we will have your names instead of having the names of your devices. Thank you very much. Thank you. I can see Galaxy A10 has come to Mr. Ali Mohammed. Thank you very much for that. Mr. Ali Mohammed, you're welcome. I'm still waiting for Technopova to get the name of who the person is anyway. I have 2 participants. Okay. I don't know. The name still read Technopova. Please, you can unmute yourself and actually ask your question. The participant with Technopova should please unmute him or herself for questions or inquiries, please. Mr. Rotimi, you can lower your hand. Or do you have any further question? Okay, Engineer A.N. Al-Hassan, thank you very much. Engineer A.N. Al-Hassan, you can unmute yourself now. You can unmute yourself and, okay, thank you. You can ask your question now, thank you.
The only question I will ask, my partner, Engineer Ali Mohammed, has been receiving messages over 2 days now, but me, I have not been receiving any. So I don't know why they have not been sending to my WhatsApp or my email. And I've been chatting with Mr. Modu all this while.
Okay, thank you very much. I think if possibly your number is not on our group platform, you can private chat a number to your contact to Mr. Madu. He will add you immediately now.
Okay,
Mr. Madu. Platform so that you can receive messages. Mr. Madu is here and can hear you loud and clear. Let me hand him over to you to sort that with you, sir. Let me hand Mr. Madu.
Already Mr. Madu is with my contact.
Engineer, good evening, sir. You're welcome. I hope the Northern Nigeria is doing fine this evening.
You're all right. You're welcome. Good day.
All right, sir.
I'm fine.
Concerning your complaint, please just chat me up privately this evening. I would add you to the group. It's not a there's no big deal about that, sir.
Okay.
All right, sir. Thank you very much.
Mr. Modi, sir, I should do what?
And I said you should private chat me on my WhatsApp number. You have my phone number.
Okay,
you will be talking now. Just private chat me on WhatsApp number now. I would add you up right away, sir.
All right.
Now, I believe you have seen your schedule for presentation.
Okay. The important question I would like to ask again, since I have not been receiving any message, now what would be the mode of morning section and afternoon section? So I don't know anything about all this.
Mr. Engineer Al-Hassan, I cannot get that question clearly. You can please recap so that I could get it clearly.
I said, since I've not been receiving text messages all this while, now what is the mode of presentation? How is it going to be? That starting from that
presentation
because
will be virtually. If you have a PowerPoint, you can actually prepare your PowerPoint. When it is, Mr. Madu will send you the schedule of presentation right now. You can send your private chat Mr. Madu. He will send it to you privately and will add it to the platform, then resend it on the platform so that you can see the schedule and see where you actually fall, where your the day and the session to which your presentation falls. But it is imperative that all participants join the opening ceremony tomorrow. It is imperative that all participants join the opening ceremony tomorrow. The opening ceremony starts by 10 o'clock in the morning, but we will be live on Zoom from 9 o'clock in the morning. Then this is the reason, this is a virtual conference which is being recorded online and it is being streaming. It is streaming live on YouTube. Then the reason why we implore all our participants to be on Zoom is so that we can actually transmit your presentation and your participation on YouTube and to be there for record purposes. That's why we implore all our participants to please endeavor to join the opening ceremony tomorrow by 10 o'clock. Our Zoom platform will be up from 9 o'clock in the morning. You can join anytime before 9. The opening ceremony will start by 10 o'clock on the dot.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, sir. I would have you up for now, sir.
Yes, I'll text Mr. Amadu now.
Please do that now. Mr. Amadu will actually forward the links and every other thing to you. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay.
Mr. Ali Mohammed, you are still raising hands. Do you have anything to say? Mr. Ali Mohammed, you are still raising hands here. Do you have anything to say further? Mr. Ali, you can unmute yourself, please. You can unmute yourself.
Hello.
Mr. Ali, I'm
Good
with you,
evening.
sir.
Can you hear me?
Good evening, sir. I can hear you, sir. I think we're having challenges with the audio, Mr. Ali. Can you fix that and raise your hands again while I take you? Do you have any other person that have questions, please? In the absence of further questions for now, let me unmute the chairperson of Research and Publications Committee of the School of Business Studies, Federal Polytechnic Ede, to actually have some words to discuss with us. The chairperson, you can unmute yourself.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and all distinguished participants across the nations of the world. I want to welcome you on board to the pre-meeting of 19th Virtual Conference of School of Business Studies, Federal Polytechnic in Nigeria. Let me just appreciate you for putting up your interest in our conference. We really appreciate you. We appreciate your interest and your time. I want to promise you that with the pre-meeting that we're having now, it's just a token and a taste of the iceberg. By the grace of God, we are going to have each free conference. And with our very strong technical personality, permit me to appreciate Mr. Ali Madu and his members for this beautiful work they are doing. Except where there are problems of network, at least we are enjoying this meeting so far. And tomorrow, I want to enjoin all our participants across the globe to join in our opening ceremony. That is where we are going to celebrate together, and you'll be able to listen to some of these papers. There's going to be the opening remarks by our rector. Our rector is going to declare the conference open. We're going to have the keynote presenter and the chairman of the occasion, Dr. Mrs. Victoria Adele, will also be there. Our lead paper presenter will be presenting also tomorrow. And with all those stuff, I believe we are going to have a very good time. So please make sure you are with us tomorrow and ensure that you put up other things and make sure you identify with us. There's not going to be any regret at all. On that note, I want to promise you each free conference. Please ensure that you have a very good network wherever you may be, especially when it is time for you to present your paper. Ensure you have enough megabytes and very good network, and make sure you charge your battery ahead of time. It will be quite embarrassing, in the course of presentation, when your battery goes off or your megabytes, you get out of megabytes, or there is any form of entrance. The technical chairperson may not be able to do justice with your paper. Please make sure that you make all those things available. And I believe you are going to have a very good time together. On this note, let me just congratulate every one of us ahead. And I know we are going to have a very successful outing, being the second edition of our virtual conference. On this note also, let me just appreciate our Dean, the Dean School of Business Studies, and the fatigable Dean, Dr. Adebayo Tio, all members of the Research and Publication Committee, Alajo Yebamiji, Mr. Biodun, Mr. Bankefa, Chief Technical Person, Ali Adeyemo Madu, and our own Olubato, who is in charge of welfare. I want to appreciate you all for being there and for putting up this type thing again.
Thank you, the chairperson, for that. Thank you very much. Do we have anybody that has any question to ask again before we actually call this a day? We have come to the end of this briefing. Now, if we still have anybody that need a question to ask, the person can go ahead and raise hands. Then we'll take the question. Let me once again appeal to us that we should check the platform. We will send the link. We should check the platform and see the registration link for the conference. Our conference link is secured. We did not make it as open as this one for briefing. You can please check the registration link for the conference and use a valid email address and your name. Immediately you register on that link, it automatically sends you the link that you will use for the Zoom conference for the 3 days that will be holding the conference. Please endeavor that you use your valid email address. The email addresses should be case sensitive. We are supposed to have capital letter A, please don't put small letter A. And we are supposed to have small letter A, don't put capital letter A. Otherwise, you will not receive the link in your email addresses. So please, you can actually register on that using that registration link and join us on Zoom tomorrow morning. So we'll take inquiry. You can liaise with Mr. Madu or myself if you have any challenges getting the registration link in your email address. Thank you. I think that will be all for now without wasting much of our time. We are almost 1 hour, and we actually don't want it to be more than 1 hour. So I pray that God will actually give us a good day tomorrow, and we'll have a stable network to play with. By the special grace of God, all our efforts, the participants and the organizers will not be in futility by the special grace of God. It is on this note that we like to thank all of us from all over the country and around the world for joining us on this pre-conference SBS 2021 pre-conference briefing. Thank you all. God bless you. I think you can all unmute yourselves. You can all unmute yourselves to actually say one or two things. You can all unmute yourselves now to give
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Ngozi, Mr. Abiodun Rotimi, Madam Adamu Usman.
Thank you very much.
Al Hassan, Mr. Alatuji Daniel, Mr. Ali Mohammed.
Thank you. Thank you. I love you too.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you very
We'll
much.
meet,
For the
we'll
time,
meet tomorrow.
All of you
Thank you
tomorrow,
for
by the
everything. Thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Especially appreciate you for joining us. Thank you very much.
Bring our fish from Ikorodu.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Yes,
Bye.
yes. Have a wonderful evening and enjoy the rest of the night.